Yes. Okay. So, welcome back to our breath awareness session. And we will begin with just grounding ourselves wherever we are right now. And for that, we will take three deep breaths. So let's settle in and start with our body posture. So those of us who are sitting on the chair, we will just make sure that we do not lean too much towards or away from the chair. Our feet should touch the ground. And those of us who are on the cushion or I can see Dilip sir. Okay. So we will start with our 7 feature Virochana posture. We can either sit in a full lotus or half lotus position. What does that mean? We can sit either fully cross-legged or half cross-legged. Or we can also sit in a what we call Burmese style, where our right leg actually comes in front and we tuck in our left leg inside. So that's also absolutely fine. We can follow the Burmese style. Next comes our hands. So in the 7 feature Virochana posture, we keep our right hand over our left hand and then our thumbs joining together, forming a triangle. And we place our hands on our lap. Then comes a very important point or a feature, which is a back, which has to be upright. As our teachers call it, upright. But we don't have to force or stretch it that we feel uncomfortable. No, that's not the purpose. The purpose is that it has to be upright. And the analogy or the the imagination that we do, or we imagine as if there is a thread that is pulling us and making the back straight. Then moving our focus to our tongue. We keep our tongue in such a way that it touches our upper palate. And the rationale is very simple, that while we are doing a practice, it avoids too much of accumulation of saliva in our mouth. And our lips and our teeth are in a very relaxed position. We don't have to squeeze in. No. Then comes another very important point in the posture, which is our eyes. And those of us who have been joining the sessions, we are developing this practice of not fully closing our eyes. So the reason is that over a period of time, we have to understand We have to habituate our minds that it is not the I which actually meditate. And also the danger of closing our eyes fully is that at the beginning level, we may fall asleep and lose the focus from our object of focus that we will be um, discussing soon. So yeah, the eyes have to be half open with a gaze at an angle of 45-degree down. Then our shoulders have to be straight. And our elbows slightly away from our body. Because remember, our hands are on our lap, but elbows have to be slightly at a distance from the main trunk. So with this body posture, this 7-feature Virochana posture, we move on to the object of meditation, which in our case is a breath, the most visible, the most, at the same time, the most invisible, but the gross object is our breath. So we focus on our breath. Either we can choose a point between our nostrils and our upper lip, or simply the sensation while we breathe in and breathe out. Then the two errors that we face during the session, during the practice, are mental excitement and mental lethargy. So these are the two errors that we commonly face during our meditation practice. So what is mental excitement? When our mind just moves here and there, that feeling of chaos, that feeling of bouncing here and there. The analogy given is that of a crazy ball. Those of us who have seen crazy balls in our life, when we used to play with them, so that is mental excitement. The other error is mental lethargy, where we just droop in, kind of squeeze in, and fall either asleep or lack the motivation to practice. Yes, that is very important. That lack of motivation, that is the other error. That lack of energy. So these are the two errors, and we have antidotes to these two errors, which is mindfulness and introspection. What are these? These are the faculties of mind which help us fight these two errors. So mindfulness is basically that awareness that our mind has wandered. So it's like a camera, like a CCTV camera looking that, yes, okay, a mind has moved away from an object of meditation, and introspection, sorry, that is the introspection. That awareness is introspection. And mindfulness is basically just simply bringing a mind back to the object of meditation. So introspection is that awareness, that CCTV camera, and mindfulness is bringing the mind back to the object with love and empathy. And the analogy that we generally share is like, like a parent, like a mother or a father, knowing that the child is not there in the cradle. So that awareness that the child is maybe in another room, has gone to another room, and like a loving parent, bringing the child back to safety, to the object of focus. Or those of us who also have our dogs or cats, it's simply tying the dog with a leash so that it is safe and it stays there. So these are the two antidotes. So these were the instructions for the body posture, point of focus, errors, and the antidotes. Now, which we have to look at, like, because this is the standard practice, like standard in a way that this body posture, this instructions help us in our practice. And by daily habituating our mind, it helps us to meditate better. So with that, we will begin with the motivation that this practice, as small as it may sound or look, this 15 minutes or 20 minutes of breath awareness, what difference does it make? It does. As teachers say, it does make a difference even to meditate for 5 minutes. Because this helps us understand the nature of the mind. And also gives us the confidence that we can train the mind. And the motivation is not to train and keep the benefits to oneself, but also to share with everyone, with each and everyone. Not only humans, I mean, in the room that we are sitting right now, there's so many other sentient beings. There are animals, there are insects. Maybe they're also listening to this. So this is the motivation. This is the highest level of motivation, what we call the Mahayana motivation. Mahayana, which stands for the great vehicle, where we aspire to become Buddha. We aspire to attain Buddhahood for the benefit of each and every mother sentient being. And that mind which aspires to be the Buddha for the benefit of all, that precious mind is the mind of bodhicitta. So our motivation is to look deeper into our minds, to understand these errors, and how to train our minds. So, with this motivation, we'll begin the first round of our breath awareness. As soon as you hear the sound of the gong, we will adjust to a body posture and begin. So we'll slowly come out of a practice. The reason for this very short break is just to habituate our mind that it's okay, that it's okay to make some errors, that we will readjust and come back to the practice. So that's why we take this 30-second break where you can just stretch your body, release any tension in any part of the body, that stiffness that comes. Which will take time, but that stiffness will go away. We can also have a sip of water. And also use this time to reflect on the errors that we may have faced in the last 5 minutes. There could have been many instances where our mind, like a crazy ball, moved in every possible direction, every possible time. Today, yesterday, day before yesterday. So we'll reflect on that. And also, were we able to use the antidotes, introspection and mindfulness, when we face these errors? So we'll reflect on that. So whenever you are ready, we'll taking our own time. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. We will readjust, come to a body posture. Those of us who are on the chair, make sure that your feet firmly touches the ground. And those of us who were sitting in this 7 feature Virachna posture, we can readjust. And as soon as you hear the sound of the gong, and if you're not able to hear, maybe because of some sound issues, as soon as you see me taking my specs off, we will begin the second round of the practice. will slowly come out of our practice. When we say slowly, the idea is just to maintain that continuum. It should not be like an abrupt end. The reason which I was reading is that it habituates the mind to remain in flow. That's why we say that, we'll slowly come out of our practice. That should not be an abrupt transition. So, thank you everyone for joining. And before we finish, we'll dedicate the merits that we have generated for this practice. We can dedicate to the well-being of everyone, that with this practice, whatever that I have learned, whatever habituation into the nature of the mind, may this help me today and for the days to come. May this serve as a reminder that we all struggle in the same way when it comes to our minds. So we'll dedicate to the teachers, to the tradition that has given us this technique to train our minds, who guide us. So whosoever the teacher that we would like to dedicate, here we will dedicate to the long life and well-being of the 14th Dalai Lama, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, and also our teacher, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, to our parents, to our family members, to our colleagues in office, or wherever we work. So thank you, everyone. We would love to see you in person as well. Those of you who can come to the center on Mondays and Thursdays, you can join us for in-person session as well.